12th episode of Using Up. Is it our 12th? Yes, our 12th episode of Using Up Book Pages. And I don't know how long this little series is going to run, I guess until we run out of ideas to make out of book pages. So today what we're going to do is make this little pocket, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tags inside the pockets, and they're pretty shallow, they're not deep. So these little cards are not huge, but they're really cute. You could put flowers on them, you could write on them, you can do whatever. And then I've put my tape on the back. I'm not decorating the back because it is to be glued down to the page. For example, if this is our page, we're going to glue it down right here, right along those edges where that tape shows. We're going to take our long tag and slide it in right here. So we basically have a 6-tag pocket, or a 6-spot pocket. Maybe we should say it that way, because you could put 2 or 3 little tags down in each one of these little pockets. You're not limited, but that's the minimum. That's the minimum number of tags you can put in here. So this is what we're going to make today, and it's a little tricky, iffy, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So we're gonna work on it. The first thing the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take out our 2 pieces of book page. I'm gonna put those over there for a minute, and then when I get ready to use those in a minute, I won't be able to find them. So that's kind of how my life goes. Let me wipe my runny eye. I tell you, about 24 years ago, I came down with Bell's palsy, and it affected the left side of my body, mainly my face and all of that. So this left side of my face drooped, my eye drooped, and blah, 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 and all of that. So I go to the doctor, and I get my medicine, and they tell me it is the same virus that causes chickenpox. So the same virus that causes chickenpox will cause chickenpox, shingles, and or Bell's palsy. And every now and then I can still, even after 24 years ago, I can still, and they told me when I went to the doctor, oh, it'll clear up and go away in about 6 months. Well, 24 years later, I still have it, I still deal with it. And every now and then, I will still get a little twinge in my upper left side of my lip. And to me, it just feels like it's huge. Like it goes, eh. But I get my husband to look at it, and he's like, oh, I think I saw it. You know, it's so subtle, but to me, it feels really huge. So anyway, as a result of that, my left eye does not, the tear ducts in my eyes that drain the water that flushes and washes over your eyeball and keeps it clean, that little pocket, it's fine, it's there, it's just like it doesn't remember what it's supposed to do. So the water, instead of going down that little duct, will come running out the side of my face. And so for the first year or so, I had to tell people, now I'm not crying, so I'm okay, it's fine, but I still have to wipe that off from time to time because it just doesn't want to suck up that water. So, all right, here we go. We're ready to go. I've got my glues, and I have my 2 pages. And these 2 pages measure 7 inches wide by 9.5 inches tall. Okay, and we're going to need 2 of them, but we're going to do them almost exactly the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little piece of tape here, and I'm just doing this because it's the easiest, and I'm going to run it right down this center line here on my page, because that is the center. That's where I'm going to presume is the center. And I'm going to make sure that's down really nicely. But we're going to peel this off, and we're going to unstick it from the table. Stick that over a little bit. And then we're going to fold this side in to that line and tape that down. Okay? And then we're going to turn over and do the same with this side to that line. Now, you can measure this out. You don't have to measure it all. You can eyeball it, but I don't eyeball too good. So I try to measure a little bit, but then my measuring's not real good either. So, you know, I kind of just go with what I got. I'm going to use this side because this side has a couple of images that I may or may not want. I'd rather just have text. What did I do with my tape? Oh, there it is. All right, so we're going to glue this one down right here. Same thing. We're going to fold them exactly the same. Okay? Exactly the same. So we're going to use our finger tool and fold that over just so we make sure we get it right. We're going to take this side and fold it in to the line, crease it, turn this side to the line and crease it. Now that pretty much ensures me that these two pieces are the same width, and they need to be the same width because we're going to glue them together. Okay, so we're going to decide which one is our top and which one is our bottom, and I promptly went ahead and put one with pictures on it and did not pay attention, but we're not going to worry about it. We're going to go with it like we are because we might need a picture. So I'm going to take my glasses off for just a second. I'm going to take these two little pieces of paper and I'm going to find my, now this is where it varies slightly, very slightly. You've got to decide which one is going to be the top and which one's going to be the bottom. And so I'm going to use the one that's full text for the top, and I'm going to hope that this one, now I think I'll use this one for the top because I'm going to fold that down a little bit so there'll only be a little bit of picture. Got that worked out. So this is going to be our bottom. Now, on this, we are going to turn it on the long side, the 9.5 inch side, on our DB board here. What do we call it? Oh, good gracious. This thing, anyway, it is 9.5 inches long. So we are going to go up. We're going to work backwards. We're going to go up 2 inches to 7.5, and we're going to draw a score using our scoreboard. There we go, at 7.5. Now, be very careful because your paper may be pretty thin. So if you push too hard, you'll go all the way through it. So we're doing our first one at 7.5. That's 2 inches from the bottom. Then we're going to scoot up 1 inch. So we're going to do our next line at 6.5 inches. Okay, 6.5. Now we're going to go back to 2, and we are going to do our next line at 4.5. 6.5. 2 inches is 4.5. Then we're going to do a 1 inch up to 3.5. Are you with me so far? We're at 3.5. Now we're going to go up 2 more inches to 1.5. 1.5. And then we're going to do another one at 1/2. Okay? It's cool. I think that's correct. Except I didn't put it at the right 1.5. I put it at 1. So we're going to come back and make this at 1.5 because it should be there. So we've got 2 inches, 1, 2 inches, 1, 2 inches, 1/2 inch. Okay, and that's our bottom. This is our top. We are going to do the same thing except at the end. So we're going to go from 9 inches, 9.5 to 7.5, go up 1 inch to 6.5, up 2 inches to 4.5, up 1 inch to 3.5, up 2 inches to 1.5, and then we're not going to put any more. We're going to stop at 1.5. We're not going to put the 1/2 inch piece on here because we're not going to need it. Okay, so we're done with our scoreboard. This is our top. I'm going to put this back down here just to get it out of my way for a minute, and we're going to start folding. And we're going to kind of, it's glued together in the back or taped together, whatever. And so we're going to kind of almost accordion style fold it. So we're going to come up on the first one, which would be the score at 7.5. And then we're going to fold it back up again at the 6 mark. Okay. And we're going to try our best to get it straight. And you can use these words on here to kind of use as a guide. Then we're going to turn up again at the next mark and up again. And so what this is doing right here is making our little pockets. Okay. And then we're going to fold this one down, and we're going to fold up just on this little 1/2 inch. Just the little 1/2 inch mark. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Don't panic. It's fine. Now we're going to take our next one. We're going to do the same folds. Fold up on the 7.5. Kind of fold up again on the 6.5. We're going to fold this one at the 4.5 and at the 3.5. And then we're going to take this one that we did at 1.5, and we're going to fold the whole thing over. The whole thing. All right. So now that one's going to look like that. This one's going to look like this. The only difference being how we did the tops. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this little piece right here that we folded over, and if we can get our glue to work, we are going to glue the top of this. And we are going to take the bottom of the top half, and we're going to glue it to that right there. Okay. So it is going to continue like this. So it's really not as hard as it seems. It's really pretty simple to do and pretty easy. Now what we're going to do is go in here, and we are going to, now I'm not putting thumb notches in this just because this paper is not glued completely down, and I don't want it flopping open. So I'm not going to make notches. I think we can see here with these tags that there are tags in those pockets, and we don't need anything to identify to say, aha, this is a pocket. So I don't think we need those. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here at the bottom, and on our 1 inch side, we're going to put a little dab of glue right down this way and right down this way, and we're going to fold it. And I probably should have, let me do it before I get too far involved here. Even though I don't put notches, I do want to ink it. And it's a whole lot easier to ink these when the tops of these before you glue them down. And so I'll just glue these real quick. And I may have to undo that one a little bit. Okay, I think we got it good enough. Okay, Alrighty, so we saved that. Now we're going to fold this one back over this way, and we're going to put glue on the back of it. So it's going to look, let me get the glue on here, and you can see it's kind of this kind of shape. Okay, does that make sense? We're going to glue this one down to the 2-inch space above it. We're to our next 2-inch space and our 1-inch space. We're going to put glue here and here. Take this, pinch it, and glue it down. All right, so we've done the bottom. Oh, we probably need to put some glue down here, otherwise our bottom's going to go flying up. And we certainly do not need our bottom flying up. So we need to glue our bottom down. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to continue on up to the top. Little glue here, pinch, pull, stick, and hold. Now we're up here. We have a little glue here and a little glue here. Pinch, pull, and glue. Now then, we have our pockets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets. We're going to turn the whole thing over, and probably you don't have to glue these if you're going to put tape down, but because I'm dealing with a pretty fragile piece of paper, I am going to go ahead and glue these down as well. I've already done the first one, and so I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm doing it on the back. And you could even fold it this way. If you don't fold it that way, and I mean you don't glue it right here, you technically could, let's see, you could have a pocket here, and a pocket here, and a pocket here, and a pocket on down. To me, that's just way too many pockets. So I decided not to do that. But if you want to do that, just don't glue the inside and leave it, and it'll be fine. You can put twice as many little tacks in there. Now we're going to do that one. Oh, and something didn't get glued. What didn't get glued? Or what got glued twice? I think this one got glued twice. Take my glasses off so I can see what I did. Oh, because that's our top. Sorry. I had it upside down. If I'd have tried to read it, I would have known. Let me glue this back after I unglued it. And I made it so that the text would read up, so that people wouldn't go crazy trying to read it and all. I mean, if they're so inclined to read the dictionary, that is cool. We want them to be able to do that. So now I have all that glued, and I'm going to go around and ink the extra edges all the way around. And if you wanted to do like a circle punch, a corner punch here, you could do that and do that on this one. And then just keep right on inking. And right on up to the top. And then I need to glue this little flap down, because that's the one that I missed a while ago. And that just helps hold it down. We're going to glue this top back just because it makes the tag going in and out a little better. And I guess you really couldn't use that to make extra pockets, because all of the pockets open upside down. So I guess you can't do that. So scrap that idea. All you get is these 5 pockets and the one in the back. There you go. Now we can kind of dirty this up a little bit if we want. We can decorate it up a little bit. We've got some lace here, And we don't have a whole lot of this, so that's why I kind of chose this. And we can put it right down here at the bottom. For that, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm just going to glue it on here. I want to see the book pages, but I want to also have them strong enough that with use in and out, over and under, I don't think it matters. I want it to be as strong as it can be, if that makes sense. I'm just going to hold this down just for a tad minute, and then we'll hold this up and trim this off. I think it might work better if I do it on this side. Trim off this little edging just so that it makes it look even. Okay, and then we'll worry about what we're going to do about that in a minute. Now, I have some little tags. I went ahead and cut them. And these little tags are 3 by 1 3/4. So, but that's because I wanted them to go in like this, in sideways. You could also put them in like this, up catty corner, and get you more tags and put different kinds of things in there. This is just the way I chose to do this one. So what I did, and I don't think I can do all of them at once. I think I might can do 2. So we're going to use this smaller rounder on the bottom. And then I wanted to make them look like tags. So I'm going to use my tag corner thing here. All right, that went pretty smooth. So let's see if I can get 3 of these in here. And it did work. This is cardstock, but it's pretty lightweight cardstock. So, because I don't want the cardstock to be so heavy that it pulls down and drags down the book page. Then we'll cut these on this side as well. Oh, that one's going to give me a little fit. There we go. Okay, there we go. So now we have these 4 little tags, and we can ink them. And the back can be for writing. The front could be for writing if you wanted to write something, or if you wanted to decorate the fronts. You know, you could put some little flowers in here. This tag should come pretty close to the top of the next tag. So that's kind of giving a little bit of reinforcement to that as well. So we're just going to ink around these. I'm not going to put anything on these cards. I'm going to wait. These samples, or these that I've made here, will go in my stash. Well, one will actually go in my book, and then one will go in my stash. And when I get ready to put it in a journal, come on, go straight, then I will decide. I might want to put trees or flowers or monkeys or who knows what on the front of this, or I may just decide to put a little piece of ribbon and make it look kind of shabby chic. You can do that. You can decorate them however you want to. You can use stickers, you can use ribbons, you can use paper, you can use little embellishment nubbins. Hope that I didn't glue these little pockets together too closely. And I did do that, but I want to cut this one off. I got this one a little crooked right here, and it kind of sticks out, and that will kind of reminds me of your petticoat showing, and I don't want to do that. So now we'll just ink right on around here. Ink the back real quick. in here. And then we have our last one. And we can do this. Now then, come on, baby. Almost. Okay, we're going to put this one up here. Now, we could take some of these little tickets here. Let's see, I have some little rabbits and deers and things like that. Those are not really my thing. Probably need to pass those on off to my granddaughter. She likes things like that. So, but I'm going to get these two little brown tags here. One is a bird. Actually, they're both birds. One has two birds on it. I'll put you back in the box. And then we could take this tag and move it up here and put one like this and one like this. Put these down here because they're deep enough to handle the tickets. And then we have our one to go in the back. And I have it right here already cut. And the measurement on this one is, let's see here, 2 3/4 by 7 1/2. Now, we had two pieces of paper that were 9 1/2 inches, and we glued them together, and we took 2 1/2 inches off. So we should be pretty close. So this is 6 3/4 inches, which will give you a little bit of space for your tag to stick out like that. Okay. Whew. So we're going to do the same thing with our tag here that we did over here. We're going to cut this off in the angled thing at the top and roundy at the bottom. I am not going to put lined paper on this, although you can, but I don't want to get these tags so thick that they wear and tear on my little book page. So I want them to stay feasible and good with using on here. So we can put that right there, flip this over and put a little ink on the back and be ready to go. Really simple to make. After you make one or two, it's going to be so easy, and you can just and whip them out. Now, I am going to, as I always do, put my skinny tape down the side back here because I'm not going to use this one right now, and by the time I come back to it, I may forget what in the world did you plan on doing with that. I don't know. That was made last week. I forgot. And so I'm going to just put it on here so that I know when I pick this up out of my stash box that I know to put glue on here, because this is a pocket for this. All right. Now, on here, I put a little piece of this ribbon. We don't have just a little dab left. So I cut a little piece off right here. Oh, it doesn't need to be that big. About like yay. Yeah, it needs to be a little bigger than that. All right, bigger is better. There we go. So we're going to do that. We're going to cut it off. If we can find some scissors. We're just going to ticky. Put that right there. We're going to take our glue, or we could use our little stapler here, our little tiny attacher, and we're going to tiny attach the front. Let's make sure that I'm only doing the front, and I'll explain why I'm doing it this way in a minute. Okay, so we have, and we're going to put glue on the back of this so that, one, it hides the staples, and two, it kind of glues the staples shut so we won't have to worry about them ripping out as easy. So, kind of drying up a little bit here. My husband and I lived in Colorado for 20 years, and of course there we had no air conditioning, and we got so used to having the windows open and the air blowing through that when we moved back to Texas on days when we can, we like to try to open those. And we have had in the last 2 or 3 days 8, count them, 8 inches of rain. And we love it. We're grateful for the rain. I'm not complaining whatsoever. But we had opened our windows and turned our AC off and everything so that we could enjoy the rain and the smells and the cooler air and all that. But I'm beginning to think today might be our last day to be able to do that, because it's getting a little stuffy in here now. So, all right, we can look in this little box of nubbins and see what we have. And we could put one of these little things on here. Now on this one, I put one that has a raised pearl on it. We could also put one of these little rhinestone doobie things. This one has a flower, and that's kind of cool. And that's not an obtrusive color. There's a purple one. I'm trying to stay away from purple unless I'm purposely doing purple. But I think that little yellow one right there would work just fine if I can find another one. Excuse me. Goodness. Got choked. Oh, that one's kind of pretty too. It's a very light pink. Oh, I like that. That would kind of fit with the shabby chic look. So let's do the little light pink ones and put these back in here. And I don't want to pick those up off the floor. So we'll put our glasses back on and put just a little bit of glue right here on these staples, and right here on the back of this will fit right over that. And then you just have to let it dry for just a minute. It doesn't take terribly long, but it gives us a really pretty little flash of color. So this one goes with this one, and let me find my paper clip. I don't know what I did with my paper clip, that I had these clipped together, but there's one. We'll use that one, and I put my tag with it so I remember. And then our new tag here, that's going to be our pocket. I'm going to take these out because while that is an option if you want to do it, it's not what I want to do for this. So I'm going to leave these in here like this because I want to see this tag poking out of the top. Okay, so there we go. So now we can take this. We might need 2 more. We put 3 on this one, and we've got some more, so we could put 3 of these on here, and that will work nicely. And it's a pale enough pink that I think it would work with pretty much whatever we might want to do later. And then we'll just put this one on here, put it on that one, and then we'll put this one down. And in the very short amount of time, we have made a pocket with basically 6+ tags. So there we go, and there's that. Now that looks really shabby chicy. Okay, and that will slide down in there. So this and this will pull together. So there we go. We have our little pocket made using 2 pieces of book page. Made a really cute little ephemera piece for our junk journal. So I hope you'll make one. Please don't let the measurements and the folding scare you off, because it's really not hard to do. It's really not. So just follow those measurements. Get you a piece of just old piece of paper, cut it 9.5 inches long, get you a scoreboard and do it, or fold it. You don't have to even do it. You could get a ruler and measure it off and just put your marks and fold it, and have it done for yourself. And I think that would be great. If you do, please put a picture so we can see your creativity down below and see how that works. Do those? I don't know that those are the same. For some reason, I'm looking at them, and this one looks a little different. I may take it off of there before it gets too good and stuck and find another one, but I'll do that on my own time here. So anyway, that finishes us off. If you like, now putting these like this is kind of cool too. And I kind of like staggering tags in pockets, because no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, they are never even. This way, it looks like you didn't intend for them to be even. So I like that idea. And then you have this one back here. So I think I'll leave it like that. Anyway, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please share with everyone you know. Might find somebody out there that's interesting in starting a hobby, or someone that's newly retired that's looking for something fun to do. And these kinds of projects are very easy to do without a lot of investment. So it's a good jumping off place. And hopefully, as we go, we'll get some little online class-like things that we can do, or not really classes, but in online things where we can actually craft together and do it as we go. I think that would be fun, but I don't know how to do that yet. So we're still waiting. If you get a chance, go check out my store. It's at www. Well, you have to do the https://www.mypinkdragonflywingz, all one word, M-Y, pink, P-I-N-K, dragonfly, wings, with a Z on the end of wings.com, and see what kind of things we have in there. We might just have something that you need. It's kind of got some eclectic stuff, so check it out. And until next time, you be creative too. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.